Good morning, Namaskar. I am your host Krishna Tanna from Indian Banks Association. Warm greetings to our chief guest, all distinguished guests, senior executives from banks, speakers, panelists, delegates, fellow members of Indian Banks Association and Deloitte as our knowledge partner. We feel extremely delighted and happy to welcome all of you at the Indian Banks Association HR Conclave 2024 on futuristic talent-centric organization powered by technology and driven by analytics. Ladies and gentlemen, we now welcome our chief guest Shri Bhanu Pratap Sharma, Chairman Financial Services Institutions Bureau. I take this opportunity to say a few words on his eminence. Shri Bhanu Pratap Sharma is a former IAS officer from Bihar cadre. He was Principal Secretary to Finance, Health and Family Welfare, Agriculture and Animal Husbandry, and Secretary to Expenditure at state level. At the central level, he has served in a prominent positions like the Secretary to Department of Personnel and Training, Health and Family Welfare, Establishment Officer, and Additional Secretary to Department of Personnel and Training. Throughout his career, he has counseled the government on several important policy matters pertaining to recruitment, cadre restructuring, appointments, promotion, and vigilance. I will now request Shri B.N. Mishra, Senior Advisor, Indian Banks Association, to present a memento to our chief guest. Please, sir. Thank you, sir. It is my honor to invite dignitaries to the dais. Shri Atul Kumar Goel, Chairman, Indian Banks Association, MD and CEO, Punjab National Bank. Shri Sunil Mehta, Chief Executive, Indian Banks Association. Shri Debasish Mishra, Partner and Deloitte, Chief Growth Officer. Welcome, sir. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the dais, sir. Let us proceed to our first ceremony. As per our tradition to invoke the divine blessing, we will now have the ceremonial lighting of the auspicious lamp. May I request Shri Atul Kumar Goel, Shri Sunil Mehta, Shri Debasish Mishra, Shri Gopal Murli Bhagat, Deputy Chief Executive, Indian Banks Association, and Shri Brajeshwar Sharma, Senior Advisor, Indian Banks Association, to come forward for the lighting of the lamp. Please, sir. Thank you, sir. May I now request Shri Sunil Mehta, Chief Executive, Indian Banks Association, who has been the source of inspiration for organizing this HR conclave, to give his welcome address.
Honorable Chairman, FSIB, Shri Bhanu Pratap Sharma ji, Chairman IBA and MD CEO PNB, Shri Atul Goel ji, Mr. Debasish from Deloitte, our knowledge partner, Executive Directors, HR Heads, Personnel Officers, my fellow bankers, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to all of you in this HR conclave. You are all pretty well aware that IBA is actively involved in knowledge dissemination, taking advantage of collective wisdom of all the bankers. And in this series, we keep on organizing such conclaves for the benefit of our member banks, not only for knowledge sharing, but creating futuristic plan for the banking industry. And that's why today's topic, futuristic talent-centric organization powered by technology and driven by analytics. You all are working in HR area, and HR is the backbone of banking industry because it's a service industry where knowledge is power. So far, as a banker, we were recruiting a common pool of officers through a common recruitment process, earlier BSRB, now it is IBPS. And that pool was given a general training, maybe 2 years probationary officers, or maybe as a clerical officer. And then they were given a specialized training, and then gradually we started recruiting some technical officers. But the industry has undergone a great transformation during this decade. With the advent of UPI, the technology, CBS, now it is very difficult to say that we are just a bank. We are taking the shape of a technology company because most of our services are now made available digitally, technologically. It is very difficult to retain good talent. It is very difficult to recruit good talent in just a common vertical. It's a time for verticalization. There was a time, we all have experience, that an MBBS doctor will treat all ailments right from cough, cold to orthopedic problems, and we'll go to an MBBS doctor and we are happy to get the services. Now a stage has come where we always look for a specialization. When you go for an orthopedic problem, you look for an orthopedician. And even for an orthopedician, you want to go for a specific super specialization. Suppose the problem is related to your spine, you go to a spine specialist. Problem is related to your joint, you go to the joint specialist. You don't go to a normal orthopedician even. They say, who is a joint specialist, and you search them and go there. Same has happened in trade. You go to, earlier you used to a common cloth shop and everybody's clothes we will buy. Now you go to a special shop. If you want to go for a wedding dresses, you want to go for maneuver, if you want to go for your suits, you will go to Raymond's or Jodiac or all that. And if you want to for a ladies' saree, there is a separate market. For western dresses, there is a separate market. So there is a specialization creeping into the every segment of our society. Then how banking sector can be different than others? There is a need to create a specialization. There is a need to create digitalization. There is a need to create transformation. Now how this will happen? HR will be the driving force. We have to foresee the futuristic requirement of our manpower, the type of skill set that we require, the type of remuneration which we need to pay to retain them, to onboard them, and the type of motivation that we need to provide and the incentives we need to provide to retain them for the long term. Because retaining a good talent for a long term is difficult. You all as HR experts have experienced this very well. Good talent often move to, like, we recruit them, we nurture them, we train them, and then they go for a greener pastures because they find the terms of employment elsewhere are more lucrative than what we are able to offer. So it's a big challenge for HR. How to address this challenge? To take advantage of collective wisdom, there will be 5 sessions, different panels will be there. Senior bankers, including CEOs from private and public sector banks, are going to come and share their experiences. Some of the banks have experimented. They have created a bank within bank, an overall bank. Within that, there is a digital bank, there is a digital talent pool, with a separate set of service condition, with a separate server set of recruitment systems, with a separate server career progression, to create a blend of traditional banking with the technological advancement happening in the banking space. We'll listen to it today. One thing I can tell you is written on the wall. Our traditional HR practices will not be able to provide fuel for growth to the banking system. We need to change. Change is inevitable. We need to change. We need to change our HR practices. We need to change our remuneration packages. We need to change our motivational system, incentive systems, to stay attuned with the changing requirement of the banking industry. IBA, you all know, is playing an important role in capacity building. Even the RBI has mandated us for knowledge dissemination, awareness creation, and capacity building in the field of ESG, environmental and social governance. For public sector banks, we are running a program on ease, where 15 webinars were organized during this financial year to disseminate the knowledge available with some of the leading banks, so that the peer banks can take advantage of it. It was on the different subjects of technology and the subjects of operations, subject of legal issues. IBA is also involved in leadership development program with the due blessings of our chief guest, Bhanu Pratap Sharma ji, who reposed us and gave us this responsibility to manage this program. We have engaged knowledge partners for this. Earlier it was Ego and Gender, and I am Bangalore. This time it is McKinsey. We are also involved is knowledge dissemination in various other sectors. Where will we find one bank is doing exceedingly good, we call them and disseminate the knowledge. In one of such series, the MD Union Bank came and disseminated knowledge about digital collection modules which they have developed for their bank, so that others can take benefit of it. IBA is directly involved in wage settlement of all the public sector bank and few private and foreign banks. We deal with the negotiations and have entered into 12th bipartite settlement at this phase, which we have already concluded. We are almost on the verge of finalizing it. So IBA plays a very important role in HR practices of the banking system. And that's why we thought it's necessary to organize this conclave, invite thought leaders, have a peer-to-peer learning, and take the advantage of collective wisdom for designing our future HR policy so that we are future ready, talent-centric. From a business-centric organization, we can convert into a talent-centric organization, because it's not the business which brings the talent, but it's the talent which brings the business. I hope today's deliberation will provide a food for thought for all of us, which will help us in creating futuristic HR policies for our organization. Thank you all for your presence. Thank you, Deloitte, for being our knowledge partner. And I welcome you all once again for today's interactive session. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving an overview of the day and setting the expectations from the conclave. May I request Shri Atul Kumar Goel, Chairman, Indian Banks Association and MD CEO PNB, to give opening remarks. Please, sir.
Thank you very much and very good morning to all. Respected Sri Bhanu Sharma ji, Chairman of FSIB, Sri Sunil Mehta ji, Chief Executive of the IBA, Mr. Debasish Mishra, Chief Growth Officer from the Deloitte, Mr. Gopal Bhagat, the Deputy CEO of the IBA, all the EDs of the different public sector banks, and all the head from the HR of the different organizations, and all the official present here, and the ladies and gentlemen. Once again, very good evening to all and warm welcome to this HR Conclave, which has been organized by the IBA. On the topic is the futuristic talent centric organization powered by technology and driven by the analysis. And you must have heard the chief executive of the IBA has covered most of the things. Ki HR practice has to be changed. Now the old system of the HR will not be workable, and specialized service has to be taken. And not only this health of the organization depend on the health of the HR resources also. So as far as IBA is concerned, you are all aware, IBA has been organizing the seminars, webinars, conferences on the different topic relevant to the banking industries. And I think in the same series, 2 days conclave of the HR has been arranged. It is also one of the very important topic, as CEO of the IB has already addressed in this opening remark also, and I fully agree whatever Mr. Mehta has told. I completely endorse. And I must admit, even I think you all will be agree, this banking sector has witnessed lot of changes from the financial sector as well as the technology also, on account of the adoption of the technology and on account of the adoption of the financial reforms done in the last 10 years. There is a completely change in the banking environment also. And most of the role in the technology also. Today the human resources, if you see today the human resources, rightly termed as a human capital. When we talk about the human capital, the meaning of the human capital, how we are in a position to increase their skill, how we are in a position to increase their knowledge, how we are in a position to increase their ability and contribute to the overall productivity of the organization and also the competitiveness. The human resources are the most important resources for any business, as it is enables the innovation, as it enables the adaptation and change the market condition and also the competitiveness of the organization. Not only in the banking sector, the role of the HR is the very important in the all the organization. And I think when we are talking about the human capital of the human assets, I think we have to see in the, I think if I may write, in the overseas market also, there is a one column also, how to you value the HR. They are making the value of the HR in their balance sheet also. So now you can understand what is the importance of the HR. As far as I told you, as competition is intensified in the banking sector, the strategy of the retaining of the right talent and use of the talent in the overall improvement of the organization have emerged an important topic for the today, and it has been discussed normally in the all the board meeting of the banking sector, how to retain the talent. The Mehta ji has also told in the, because this is a challenge, not only the recruitment is the challenge, even after the recruitment, how you are in a position to retain the talent, that is also being the challenge. How you can retain, that definitely we will discuss in the panel discuss also, but you have to motivate, you have to give the right salary, you have to provide the right environment. So lot of things will come when we will discuss this. Retention is definitely is a challenge. Against this background, the aim of the 2 days conclave is to bring together the HR professional who are knowledgeable, who can advise to the in the today's deliberation and the better understand how the bank require from the talent pool and what the banks need to attract to the keep the it motivated. Since IBA promote the collective and the thinking for the collective as well the wisdom for the common challenges of the banking industry, I believe that deliberation which we will be having today, as Mr. Mehta has told, 5 panel discussions, that will be in the interest of the all the banking industries also. Today the technology has been the extensively used in almost all the vertical of the organization. Even in the HR function, it is used largely for the dealing with the regular as well the repeated processing. Where today, if you are using the technology in the HR, even the target setting, even the data analysis, we are talking right person to the right post. In the large organization where you are having the more than 1 lakh employee, without the use of the technology, I think it will be very difficult to post the right person and the right post, because even you are not aware what the person is having the qualification, what is the choice of the person to work in that a particular area. So technology has a great play, and you are aware some of the leading public sector banks, they have already initiated the best HR practices by use of the technology. As far as other thing is concerned, this attrition is the another challenge. Attrition, as I told you, the another challenge faced by the industries. The issue of the attrition is equally relevant on the all the levels. The reason may be different, but it requires the analysis. What is the reason for retaining the promising the talent? I will give the 4 points basically which is required. Keep our human resources motivated with the meaningful roles and the responsibility. Skilling and reskilling of the employees so that they are in the position to accept the meaningful roles, and the given the opportunity to grow. The another is the continuously investing in the people, whether attrition is high or low. The another point, the employee engagement. The need of the right culture in the organization to develop a sense of the belongingness among the employee in the organization is also very important. So definitely, if you want to retain the person, Mr. Mehta has also told about the incentivize also. By using the technology, I think you all will agree, we will be in a position to make the difference between the performer and the non-performer, because the whatever the performance system available as on date, you all are aware that is not what is required to be do, because everybody is getting the most or less with the difference of the 5% difference, everybody is getting the same, but it is not really giving the right sense. Who is having the talent in the pool also? The moment you will use the technology, you will be in a position to get the who is the right person, what is the skill of that particular person, that particular area also, and what is the qualification. So definitely you will be in a position to post the right person and the right person and make the difference between the performance and non-performance. Mr. Mehta has told incentive. Then you can also try to give the incentivize also, because attrition main thing is the how you are making the incentivize to remain in the same organization. So as well as employee take about the more control over their careers also, entities must intensify efforts to meet their expectation and the foster in the environment where they feel relevant. To this end, it is valuable to hire the people to have the growth mindset and the agility to acquire the new skills and knowledge throughout their career. This is also an opportunity for the HR vertical of the banks to work on. I am hopeful that whatever the today's discussion in the different panel, because the lot of senior professionals from the different organizations who are expert in the best HR practices, they will deliver, and the always the efforts of the IBA is how we can use the collective thinking, collective wisdom of the all the person. Definitely we will make a use of it. I have shared my perspective on the evolving of the HR practices for developing a talent oriented organization. I understand that there are interesting sessions in the conference which discuss several aspects of the HR management. Our panelists are expert, having the long experience, as I told you earlier, and are actively involved. I am sure the participation in the today's panel will be definitely in the interest of the all the organization, and I assure you not only this, because as Mr. Mehta has told, we are having the organizing so many webinar on the different topic, but today's topic is very relevant, because without the best HR practices, the banking industries cannot grow. So definitely during the course of the discussion, we will be in a position to reach to some of the conclusion. Whatever the best practices we can implement in the banking industry, and my best wishes to all of you and for the today's deliberation. Thank you. All the best to all of you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your perspective in detail with us. May I now request Shri Debasish Mishra, Partner and Chief Growth Officer Deloitte, for setting the context for the HR conclave, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Respected Chairperson FSIB, respected MD and CEO PNB, respected Chief Executive Officer IBA, senior bankers, and ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to this IBA HR conclave, and thanks for giving us the opportunity to be the knowledge partner of this conclave. So you would have seen that yesterday Honorable FM presented the interim budget, and we have a very big journey to take from last year. We are entered the Amrit Kal, and there is fiscal consolidation, and banking industry will play a major role in India's journey towards a Vikasit nation. And in last 10 years, lot of changes has already happened, and all of you made that change happen. And the amount of citizens that came into the banking sector through Jan Dhan is staggering. When we go and tell our colleagues outside the country, they can't believe that that kind of a ramp up happened, and the banking system could take, and mostly all of them came into the public sector platform, and commendable achievement for all of you. You can give yourself a big round of applause for that. The second aspect I would say is that the journey 10 years back started when the banking system was not healthy. We had a lot of NPA, but painstakingly you all have cleaned up that, and now you have a system where the bank balance sheets are pretty healthy. And going forward from here, the country will go through a massive capital expenditure cycle. And that capital expenditure cycle, the corporate balance sheets are healthy. Really, the investment signals are coming that a massive amount of investment will be needed in this period. And you all have a balance sheet and ability, well capitalized balance sheet to fund that. Now, what are the other enablers? As you've been rightly saying, the talent model has to get it right, and the technology. As the chairperson, the chief executive of IBA said, banks are no longer in the traditional banks. Maybe, in some sense, they've become customer service organization, they have become technology organization, and technology itself is changing so fast. We mentioned about, how the Indian banking system adopted computerization. That was a big apprehension that whether the bank can adopt computerization. And all these technologies, the biggest one that is coming now is AI. And recently there was the meeting in Davos. The one thing on top of everybody's mind is how artificial intelligence will change industry after industry. And this is not like, one of your RPA or one of those kind of technologies. AI will be like how steam industry changed, brought the industrial revolution, or internet changed the business models. AI will change a lot of things. And what we need to realize is that the talent model has to have continuous learning and skilling. And we keep telling in every industry, the skilling need will be continuous. And we need to have our talent which learns, unlearns and relearns in a continuous manner, and associations and deliberations like what you are doing today will go a long way in enabling that. And today the amazing thing is, in the fight for the talent, sir, you mentioned about retention. India is the talent powerhouse. We contribute 8% of the global, talent export. This year, by end of 2024, India will reach $400 billion worth of exports of services. And lot of these services, contrary to popular belief, is not IT, ITES. Lot of it is banking, it is accounting, it is R&D. And there you will have a fight for talent with the outsiders also. There are 1,500 global capability centers. I'll give you a staggering statistics. World's largest bank, JP Morgan, it has around 300,000 people throughout the world. 90,000 of those people are in their global capability center sitting in India. That's probably as much people they don't even have in the US. That's the entire what you mentioned, analytics is managed from India. So in the talent market, not only we have to fight with the other industries and other banks, you need to also retain your talent vis-a-vis these kind of compete for talent. You need to retain the right, recruit the right talent, retain them through skilling and incentivization. So I wish all the best for today's deliberation. I'm sure that this is again, sir, as you mentioned, it's a continuous process. You have a series of this deliberation, and thanks again for giving us the opportunity to be the knowledge partner for this event. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mishra, for taking us to the phases of transformation of financial sector and changing HR roles. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute honor to have Shri Bhanu Pratap Sharma, Chairman Financial Services Institutions Bureau, to address us today. On this note, may I request our chief guest to address the forum, please?
Thank you very much. But at the outset, let me check whether I am audible because I had some sound issues.
Yes, sir, you are very much audible.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So, good morning to all of you. Mr. Goel, Mr. Mehta, Mr. Mishra, EDs and other senior bankers, and ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let me first thank the IBA for having invited me as chief guest on this occasion. I truly feel honored. I'm sorry that I couldn't make it to Mumbai on this occasion because of some personal reasons. This subject is very, very interesting, I would say. It sets one thinking. When I saw the subject, when Mr. Mehta told me, sent the topic, I started thinking about it. It's a very new one, very, very topical, I would say, because technology is changing so fast that any organization, be it government, be it bank, be it private organization, unless they leverage the technology and try to adapt, I think they will become obsolete. So it's really a very, very topical subject. I was wondering what is talent-centric organization, because you see that those organizations are always talent-centric, isn't it? And we are part of government, part of bank. We have all come through competitive examination and very rigorous interview process. So organizations have always been talent-centric. I won't say that they have not been, except some private businesses where the loyalty is extremely important and probably certain amount of sacrifice can be made on the talent. Otherwise, the organizations are always talent-centric. But the keyword here is futuristic. In the future, how will it look? And from the HR perspective, this technology and analytics, how are they going to change the shape of the organization? So of course, I couldn't hear it properly, but I could make out from my previous speakers that these technology and analytics are going to make a sea change in how the organization treats its employees in such futuristic, talent-centric organization, employee will be at the core. And this will be completely driven by technology, not only the operational part, which of course where technology usually works, but from the HR perspective, it will pervade every aspect of the employee, right from recruitment, onboarding to their performance assessment and the entire engagement process. The technology would be pervading, and data would be used to take decisions. So obviously that will bring about a lot of improvement. I was just looking at we did some search and what are the aspects of human resource management where this AI can be used, and I saw that literally every aspect, in recruitment, whether it's recruitment or talent acquisition, employee onboarding, employee performance management, there's a whole list. There are so many AI tools are available. I never knew, even though I have been working in this area. Of course, they have to be checked whether they can be used in our context, how it can be used, how expensive are they, how reliable are they. All that has to be seen because technology is evolving. I'm sure they will become more and more improved as the time goes. But at the present juncture, how they'll fit into our work, that of course will have to be examined. Banks, of course, are ideally placed in this regard because the banks, the performance of employees can be highly quantified, and their assessment and all can be made by AI tool. And the banks also have a lot of data, as compared to the other organizations. You have a lot of data, so you are ideally placed to leverage the technology and data analytics. Of course, the adoption of AI into the functioning of the organization, that is bound to, some challenges will be there, definitely. In fact, I can narrate my experience here. I'm the chairman of RAC in DRDO, where we make the selection of defense scientists, for DRDO. And we get thousands of applications every year, for selection. And scrutinizing that many applications is a real challenge. It takes months together. Their certificates and all, their experience, everything has to be examined. Lot of hours are to be spent. We have to get people, on contract to do the scrutiny. So we are wondering whether we can have some AI tool to do that. And we did, invited some vendors to make presentations before us. They are good. I was impressed by some of the tools, but they are quite expensive, I would say. You see, the cost would turn out to be on a recurring basis because they won't give you the software. You would have to use it, and on per case basis they would charge, and cost would come to more than 1 crore every year for scrutiny. Of course, it would be much cheaper to get people and ask them to do that scrutiny. But of course, it's time taking. It can save time. It can, for what they do in months, it can be done in 2-3 days. And in fact, they also showed me a system where the applicants don't have to fill the app. They just upload their certificates and the applications are generated. Most of it is generated, 75%. 25%, of course, the candidates would have to fill up. So all those are very, very interesting, but at present I found it was a little expensive. We have given that work to one of the IITs to develop, but the progress is yet to be achieved. But I'm sure if we adopt that, will be, that will be a revolutionary change in our work here. So that's a challenge, I would say. At present, the cost is a challenge. Then the adoption of the technology in the organization, that won't be straight away. You will have to, sort of prepare the employees. Like when the computers came, there were a lot of misgivings that jobs will go away or that. That kind of thing is, if AI does everything, then why are we needed? That kind of feeling is there. But I'm sure that computers came and now they have been accepted everywhere, and they have not really had any impact on the employment. In fact, they generated a lot of employment. Surely, and AI also, our experience will be similar. But of course, the issue would be that in India, there is so much of illiteracy. About 20% people are still illiterate, and if you look at the digital illiteracy, perhaps it will be much higher. So once these tools come, then that digital divide will further increase. The jobs will come. People who are equipped, to do that kind of job, they will certainly get jobs. But people who are just not equipped, to handle, to do any such thing, they will be further left out. So that divide, of course, will increase. And banks have a very important role. I'm saying this because, you see, you can help. You have the reach and you have the resource to help them. So from that angle, I'm saying that it's a good opportunity where you use the technology, increase your profitability, equip your employees, and in turn you pay back to the society by helping the unprivileged people who are not able to get education, not able to do their business. So I'm sure you will use the technology to improve the lot of the country, and this once again I would say I would congratulate IBA and also Deloitte for having organized this HR conclave, and I would wish all the participants all the best. I hope that they go back with the required knowledge, tools, and use them in their functioning back at the time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable guidance. We appreciate for having taken time off from your busy schedule to address the gathering, sir. May I request Shri Gopal Murli Bhagat, Deputy Chief Executive, Indian Banks Association, to convey the gratitude to all the dignitaries.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Krishna. Very good morning to all of you. Respected Shri Bhanu Pratap Sharma ji, Chairman, Financial Services Institutions Bureau, FSIB. Shri Atul Goel, Chairman, Indian Banks Association, MD and CEO of PNB. Shri Sunil Mehta ji, our Chief Executive, and Shri Debasish Mishra, Partner and Chief Growth Officer, Deloitte. Panelists, senior executives, and officials of member banks, Team Deloitte, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, a very good warm morning to you. The inaugural session, thanks to all the dignitaries, our chief guest, their address was very inspiring, and in fact, they all have touched on all the important aspects of HR which are relevant in today's context. We begin with welcome address by our Chief Executive, Sri Sunil Mehta ji, and he very correctly recalled days of BSRBs and then movement to IBPS. Sir, you mentioned about various initiatives being taken by IBA, including seminars on ESG, ease workshops, and leadership development programs. He mentioned about traditional HR practices which we were using earlier are not very relevant, and we need to change to keep pace with the changing ecosystem and to retain talent. This is a hard fact which we have to accept. And in the industry, these things are happening. In one corner or the other, you will come across changes which are taking place, and the concepts are changing 360 degree. We also heard our chairman, Shri Atul Goel ji. He shared his thoughts on the evolving HR practices and challenges and the need for framework where individual aspirations and organizations' goals move in tandem with each other. He mentioned about use of technology, employee engagement, skilling and upskilling. Sir, you very correctly mentioned that changes in the industry are immense and we need to change. Growing concept of reflecting HR capital on the balance sheet is something which also needs deliberations. Shri Mishra, Chief Growth Officer, Deloitte, set the context, and the numbers he mentioned about JP Morgan were really very inspiring, not only from the learning perspective, but also from the angle how important our economy is, our country is becoming for the global stage. Thank you very much, Mishra ji. And we are also fortunate to listen to the perspective in detail shared by Shri Bhanu Pratap Sharma ji, our chief guest for today. He is chairman of FSIB, which is responsible for selecting the top brass for public sector banks and financial institutions. Sir, you have shared your insight and thought-provoking. Of course, use of artificial intelligence is very much in the discussion in many panels today. As you very correctly said, the technology is a bit costly, but this is the beginning, and I think we need to focus on that. So this will take forward in our panel discussions. Skilling, upskilling, and is very important, and unlearning is equally important. Unless we learn to unlearn, I think upskilling will be very difficult. A lot has been said about the HR requirements, HR practices, which are going to be discussed. I will now express my sincere thanks to Shri Bhanu Pratap Sharma ji, Chief Guest for today, Chairman FSIB, for sparing his valuable time for this conference despite his busy schedule. I also thank Shri Atul Goel ji, Shri Sunil Mehta ji for guiding us from time to time to set the overall framework for the conference and for their address to the gathering. I also express our thanks to Deloitte for their knowledge support and for setting the context for the conference. Thank you very much, sir. I wish you all a fruitful conference today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Bhagat sir. With this, we shall take a short tea break, sir, with your permission. Yes, sir. Can we please move forward for a short 15 minutes tea break? I request you to please come back on your seats by 11:10 or something, so we can start the first session on time. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.